Taking soundings in the deep ocean was, as long remained, a laborious and time-consuming task, and knowledge of the undersea topography lagged considerably behind our acquaintance with the landscape of the near side of the moon. Over the years, method was improved. Taking soundings in the deep ocean was, and long remained, a laborious and time-consuming task, and knowledge of the undersea topography lagged considerably behind our acquaintance. Taking soundings in the deep ocean was, and long remained, a laborious and time-consuming task, and knowledge of the undersea topography lagged considerably behind our acquaintance with the landscape of the near side of the moon. Over the years, method was improved. Our principle of cooperation is one of the things that sets conversation apart from similar activities such as lectures, debates, arguments, and meetings. Other qualities which help to define conversation include the equal distribution of speaker rights, mutual respect among speakers, spontaneity and informality, and non-business-like environment. The principle of cooperation is one of the things The principle of cooperation is one of the things that set conversation apart from similar activities. Spontaneity and informality. The principle of cooperation is one of the things that sets conversation apart from similar activities such as lectures, debates, arguments, and meetings. Other qualities which help to define conversation include the equal distribution of speaker rights, mutual respect among speakers, spontaneity and informality, and a non-business-like environment. The American executive, unlike the British, has no connection with the legislator, and this lack of coordination between executive and legislature is one of the distinctive features of American federal government. The Constitution guarded against executive control by disqualifying federal officials, whether civil or military, from membership in Congress. The American executive, unlike the British, has no connection with the legislature, and this lack of coordination between executive and legislature is one of the distinctive features of American federal government. The Constitution guarded against executive control by disqualifying federal officials, whether civil or military, from membership in Congress. In the summer of 2006, Europe experienced drought on an unprecedented scale. Europe experienced drought on an unprecedented scale. On the Rhine, Europe's busiest waterway, low waters forced ships to carry less cargo and make up for lost revenue with surcharges of up to 50%. In Italy, the Agricultural Confederation announced that the grape harvests were the lowest of 2 decades on unprecedented scale. In the summer of 2006, Europe experienced drought on an unprecedented scale. On the Rhine, Europe's busy waterway, low waters forced ships to carry less cargo and make up for lost revenue with surcharges of up to 50%. In Italy, the Agricultural Confederation announced that the grape harvest was the lowest in 2 decades. The history of life on Earth is filled with mystery. Life and death struggles and bizarre plants and animals as amazing as any mythological creature. Studying life's history is one of the most fascinating and challenging parts of biology, and researchers go about it in several ways. The history of life on Earth. The history of life on Earth is filled with mystery, life and death struggles, and bizarre plants and animals as amazing as any mythological creature. The history of life on Earth is filled with mystery, life and death struggles, and bizarre plants and animals as amazing as any mythological creature. Studying life's history is one of the most fascinating and challenging parts of biology, and researchers go about it in several ways. Blue food is rare in nature. Food researchers say that when humans search for food, they learn to avoid toxic or spoiled objects, which were often blue, black, or purple. When food dyed blue is served to study objects, they lost appetite. Blue food is rare in nature. Food researchers say that when humans search for food, they learn to avoid toxic or spoiled objects. What often blue, black, or purple? Blue food is rare in nature. Food researchers say when humans search for food, they learn to avoid toxic or spoiled objects, with words often blue, black, or purple. When food type blues is served to study objects, they lose appetite. It is quite clear that rising prosperity does not make people feel more content. This call will examine some of the profound ethical dilemma. Fees are heavily discounted and bursaries are available for delegates. Students are held accountable to adhering to community standards. This article covers the who, where, and when of the conflict. Essay should be typed with double spacing on white paper. The medical center is located near supermarkets on North Street. The mismatch between the intended and the uses of the report is clear. New York City is famous for its ethnic diversity. A periodical is public education that is issued regularly. Contribute to the minimum. Other relevant This image represents a bar chart which illustrates the sources of funding for higher education in Scotland. According to the image, it can be clearly seen that endowments contribute to the maximum, whereas services contribute to the minimum. Other relevant information was provided regarding the numeric value of overseas fees, which is significantly higher than research. In conclusion, after analyzing the image, it can be concluded that there are numerous factors that contribute significant impact upon the sources of funding for higher education in Scotland. This image represents a bar chart which illustrates the retirements from maintained schools by reason in England from 1998 to 2006. According to the image, it can be clearly seen that it can be premature contribute to the maximum life age 1998 to 2006. This image represents a bar chart which illustrates the retirements from maintained schools by reason in England from 1998 to 2006. According to the image, it can be clearly seen that premature contribute to the maximum, whereas age contribute to the minimum. Other relevant information was provided regarding the numeric value of 1998, which is significantly higher than 2006. In conclusion, after analyzing the image, it can be concluded that there are numerous factors that contribute significant impact upon the retirements from maintained schools in England. This image represents a bar chart which illustrates the proportion of trips made by Mood in Sydney 2004. According to the image, it can be clearly seen that vehicle, train, bus and ferry walk only. This image represents a bar chart which illustrates the proportion of trips made by Mood in Sydney 2004. According to the image, it can be clearly seen that vehicle contribute to the maximum, whereas train, bus, and ferry contribute to the minimum. Other relevant information was provided regarding the numeric value of work only, which is significantly higher than other. In conclusion, after analyzing the image, it can be concluded that there are numerous factors that contribute significant impact upon the proportion of trips made by Mood in Sydney. This image represents a table which illustrates the increase in the number of dwellings over the past 10 years. 1994, 2004, increased number, percentage increase. In Sydney City. This image represents a table which illustrates the increase in the number of dwellings over the past 10 years in Sydney City. According to the image, it can be clearly seen that 1994 contributed to the maximum, whereas 2004 contributed to the maximum. Other relevant information was provided regarding the numeric value of increased number, which is significantly higher than percentage increase. In conclusion, after analyzing the image, it can be concluded that there are numerous factors that contribute significant impact upon the increase in the number of dwellings over the past 10 years. This image represents a bar chart which illustrates the evolution of success rate in Canada. Evolution of success rate in Canada 2000 to 2003, 2000 to 2003, failures, successes, 2000 to 2001, 2003. This image represents a bar chart which illustrates the evolution of success rate in Canada from 2000 to 2003. According to the image, it can be clearly seen that failures contribute to the maximum, whereas successes contribute to the minimum. Other relevant information was provided regarding the numeric value of 2001, which is significantly higher than 2000. In conclusion, after analyzing the image, it can be concluded that there are numerous factors that contribute significant impact upon the evolution of success rate in Canada. This image represents a line chart which illustrates the average class size in UK schools from 1994 to 2006. According to the image, it can be clearly seen that primary contribute to the maximum, whereas secondary contribute to the minimum. Other relevant information was provided regarding the numeric value of 1994, which is significantly higher than 1997. This image represents a line chart which illustrates the average class size in UK schools from 1994 to 2006. According to the image, it can be clearly seen that primary contribute to the maximum, whereas secondary contribute to the minimum. Other relevant information was provided regarding the numeric value of 1994, which is significantly higher than 1997. In conclusion, after analyzing the image, it can be concluded that there are numerous factors that contribute significant impact upon the average class size in UK schools. According to the lecture, the speaker explained the lifestyles. This is a brief and explicit summary which encapsulates all life on Earth. According to the lecture, the speaker explained regarding self by providing several examples. Other relevant information was provided regarding biology, cell, and true sources of cells. The speaker also explained regarding bacteria and organisms. In conclusion, the central idea of the lecture was to explain regarding cells. lecture was to explain regarding homelessness. This is a brief and explicit summary which encapsulates unemployment. According to the lecture, the speaker explained homelessness by providing several examples. The speaker also explained regarding integrated housing and green design principle. Other relevant information was provided regarding impact on the environment and corporate investors. In conclusion, the central idea of the lecture was to explain regarding homelessness. Really, this is summary which encapsulates that. According to the lecture, the speaker explained regarding the speaker explained dandelion by providing several examples. The speaker also explained regarding events that happened and the cause of. Other relevant information was provided regarding medicinal plants and movements. This is a brief and explicit summary which encapsulates plants. According to the lecture, the speaker explained dandelion by providing several examples. The speaker also explained regarding events that happened and of. Other relevant information was provided regarding medicinal plants and movements. In conclusion, the central idea of the lecture was to explain regarding dandelion. Four times. Rainy weather. The use of illicit drug. Before sleeping. Thermometer. In vertical article. In the sea.
Which of the five senses were you using if you detect the odor of rats in the laboratory? Which?
Smelling. Four people.
How many legs does a biped have?
Two legs.